All right.
All right, guys, so welcome to Bucs Report Buc Wild show. Unfortunately, Teresa will not be with me today. She's still in the hospital. She's not feeling too well. We hope she comes back, so you're going to have to put up with a British guy. I know, but we do have a guest coming. We got Johnny coming in a bit, so he'll be here to help me out. This is my first time going solo, so go easy on me. Try not to kill me too hard. So topics we're talking about. We're going to talk a little about what kind of guys you want back in this team. Like, could we snag somebody at free agency? What is Godwin's timetable? Is he going to come back sooner than we think? Is he going to be ready for week 1? Baker Mayfield is a glitter kitty. Can you believe it? A glitter kitty? Is he playing Hello Kitty and shit? Nah, man, we're not cool about that. Are the Bucs pulling the trigger? Are the Bucs already thinking the future without Tom Brady? Possibly. I don't know. But we're all going to unpack it on this show. We're going to have a little talk. Hopefully some guys might want to come on the show. Hope we get a load of comments. But we wish Teresa back as soon as possible. She might not be back for the next show. If not, you'll be putting up with my ass again. But further ado, we got Johnny Dean to come in whenever he's ready. I will just go on. Hey,
How's
Johnny.
it going, Slick?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just celebrating the 8th year anniversary of my marriage, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, congratulations, happy anniversary, and everybody out there, give Teresa some love, man. She's in the hospital.
She needs a little love.
So keep her in your thoughts. So what's this, Jimmy Garoppo-No?
There's been talk that we might try and get after Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it's before or after Brady. It depends on what's going on, but I don't think the Buccaneers really have the kind of capital to sign him right now anyway. So
like $25 million.
Yeah, it's too much. You can't have that much. You can't have that much cash. I think the Buccaneers, if they're in the win now mode, which they've always been in, are probably looking at going for free agents that are going to help them win a Super Bowl rather than, we'll just get a guy that stands in and learns behind Brady for a year. I mean, that's a good long-term plan, but you ain't going to win. You ain't going to win this year.
No. Anything, if I'd go for anything in free agency, it'd be a defensive end or a defensive tackle. And I think we got a defensive tackles spot kind of filled. You know, Roach has played for
Roach is good. I like Roach. Did we re-sign McClendon?
Huh?
Did we re-sign McClendon?
But he's not I wouldn't consider him a vet presence, or he's still learning, I think. My point is
Stephen McClendon. I'm just looking at we got Sheldon Richardson could come in.
No, I personally would go get our guy back that we got from Cleveland and then let him go to the Raiders.
Carnassiv at DN.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's more of an. I think when he last played in the scheme, he was more of an linebacker, wasn't he? Because the scheme that we played,
he played outside linebacker, defensive end, and they're the same position nowadays. You know what I mean? So I mean, look at Barrett, the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, you play. I mean, in that scheme, you probably play like a loose 9 instead of playing like a 6.
Yeah, there's very few people that are like John Randall. John Randall was an exception to every rule, man. He was like he was Shaq Barrett's size, but played a defensive tackle, you know, in the middle. So, and he was a beast at it.
Speed sometimes speed kills, you know. But
he had that bull.
Could the Buccaneers roll the dice and get Sue back? Or do you think that's done?
I don't know. I think they're always open to getting Sue back. I just think
it's all about the money now, isn't it? Really,
pretty much. Yeah.
With Gronk gone, like that money's more than it used to be. You know, when it is. When we sign, who do we sign in his place? Hicks. Sign Hicks in his place, and you think, okay, that's it done. Akeem Hicks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
From
Hicks
Chicago.
is a good player. He's a good player. Yeah. He's solid in the middle there.
He's just a little bit injury prone. That's his weakness.
It should open up the lanes for Vay but I'm not really that worried about this. If you got a
I'm not.
solid guy like Hicks and then you have roaches behind him, I'm not really.
And we drafted a rookie that's ready to rock and roll in that position. It's not like he's too far out. And is he
Logan
a third?
Hall. Yeah.
Yeah, third or a second. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think he was our first round pick, wasn't he?
No, we didn't have a first round. We traded out.
Oh, that's right. Well, he was our first pick.
Yeah, he was the first pick. So it's not like he's a scrub. This is a guy who's ready to try and come in and take a role. So when you draft in second and first, you draft him for starters. You're not drafting for people to sit behind a few years.
Right.
So I think what they'll do with Akeem Hicks's injury proneness, so to speak, is that they'll just rotate him rather than just give him a starting workload and then stays that other guy in. We've all seen what Joe Tryon Shayinka has done already. He's already had a reasonable campaign last year. Like it wasn't.
He was out of position a lot last year. I hope he's got that settled. I hope he's built up some more moves to go along with his speed, because that's basically all he brought was last year was the speed and one swim move, and that's everybody's got that move. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I coach. I don't coach D-line. I tend to stay away from the dark arts, to be honest, because I don't know too much about it. But when I'm coaching block shedding, which is essentially at a high school level, very similar kind of thing, is I always teach a guy multiple moves, and I say to them, pick two that you really like. Pick two that you feel good in, that you're comfortable with, and just practice those, because there's no point in practicing the spin move if you're shit at it. There's just no point.
Well, yeah. If you want to be good, though, you're going to have to practice.
Oh, and we're talking NFL level. You got to be good at everything,
Yeah.
But I'm like at a high school level, I say pick two that you're good at. You need a 1-2 punch, so have something there as your backup. So they're not just expecting bull rush, bull rush, bull rush.
Yeah. You can't make a living off the bull rush.
Mm-hmm.
That bull rush, that first step on your bull rush has got to be good. You got to have a good solid hit on your attack.
The only person I know that can do that.
Back out. Then you can stop, spin, do anything you want to do.
You can play. Right. Exactly. Right. Vita Vea is probably the only person who can be a more bull rusher, because that's what his position demands of him.
But he's got moves, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, when you're a nose tackle, you're that shaded nose on the center. That's you, or you're a zero technique and your heads up on the center. That's usually your go-to move to begin with, and then it develops from there. Usually,
I think him playing fullback early on helped him with the moves and stuff a lot. Mm-hmm. So, and he can read he can read that offensive line like a book. So
that's what I always say to the linebackers. The linebackers, I always say to my guys, is think reverse running back, and they're like, what? And I'm like, they're looking for the holes. Now you're looking for the hole. Go fill that hole. And they're like, oh, because that's the same hole that the running back's going to go through.
Watch
he ain't going to go through a tiny crack. He's going to go through the open hole.
Right.
He sees daylight. He's going to run through it. That's what he's going to do.
And contain your edges. Always contain the outside. Don't get excited if you're talking to your defensive ends. Don't get excited about what's happening in the middle. You got people in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had this in my last game that we just played. We coached a good one, to be fair. We started off really badly. Like we went into the warm-ups. Warm-ups felt really flat. I do apologize if I rambled too much about my team. Warm-ups were really flat. I'm defensive coordinator, and our head coach is sick. He got COVID, and so he decided that he's worshiping. He was talking to Jesus through the white telephone in his bathroom. So he was done. So I got a message off him at about 8:00 in the morning saying, "Dude, I'm not coming in. You're gonna call plays." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. I've done it before. Let's rock and roll." We go in. Practice is the warm up is really flat. Like our own offense, we do like a couple of plays OVD where it's like bang, bang, bang. Like it's ticky tacky stuff. There's no real like nothing in it. But they got balls over the top. They're running everything in from the sides. And I said, "Oh my god, this is gonna suck." First drive, we got the ball. We drive it for about 40 yards. We drive it to about their 30. We stall out. At our level, goal kickers are not that good. We get the ball and they drive it really methodical, like 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, all the way to touchdown. And I've got.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, sorry, go for it.
Jeff, dude, don't get me started on that. COVID is definitely not the flu, buddy. I've had it twice, and I almost died the first time I had it. It is not the flu, people. Don't confuse that shit.
Nah, he was ill, and legally he has to be away from the team. So that's what we did. And
Right.
the last thing he wants to do is get the team infected, and we can't play a game, and we have to forfeit. So
So
did what he had to do. So they scored on us, pulled the guys in, and I got the other coaches kind of going, "Oh, Slick, we got to get this sorted. We got to get this sorted." I'm like, "Don't worry, I got adjustments already in my back pocket. I already know what I want to do." Spoke to a couple of them, and one of the things I was told is the ends were going clean through on every run play, clean through to the running back to the through. And I went, "There's a reason for that, guys. They're letting you through."
Yep.
What?
Over pursuit.
Right. And then the middle linebacker is going, "I can't read because the first thing I get is a tackle straight in my face." I was like, "Right, guys, this is what you're doing. Hold on to them, keep your leverage, and peel off with them if you see the run bounce out. If it doesn't bounce out, you stay hold and you scrape back inside if it's not bouncing out. This will give your linebackers a chance to move. What you're doing is stalling your linebackers because you're so eager to go and find somebody." Then we realized that their number 14, who's their slot receiver, was their lead blocker on their run play. So you knew which way they were going to run. So we shuffled the free safety. We play one high. We shuffled the free because it's mostly run in our league. We shuffled the free safety. We play a 4-2-5. So we have overhang safeties or overhang defense, or a 4-4 if you want to look at it in that sense. And so we have an overhang guy. And I said to the safety, if you see number 14 coming running at your outside linebacker, you fit that motherfucking run. Straight down. Don't worry about no pass. Straight down, because nobody runs a route straight at their receiver. At the defender. They will run away from them or around them, or they won't run at them. You can tell when someone's going to block someone. If you see him, he's running to block, go down. We only gave up one more touchdown. That was it. Done. We won the game. Job done. That's all we had to do.
All right. We need to recap because we got some more guests in here tonight. Jeff, how you doing? Glad to see you. Anthony Handy, how you doing, buddy? Trevon, Charles, Christopher, as usual. Glad to see you. All right. And we got to recap. Teresa is in the hospital. So that's why I'm here to help Slick out tonight.
Yeah, you do me a solid.
She's going to be in there for a couple of weeks, I guess, now, or at least another week.
Mm-hmm.
No idea why she's in there, so I can't give you that information. But keep her in your thoughts and prayers. We'll try to carry
I think they're draining fluid. She's struggling to drain off fluid or something like that. They put her on dialysis or something. So
did she just come out of COVID?
Yeah, she's been put through the ringer, to be honest. So
yeah,
she's a tough girl though.
COVID's brutal. I still have side effects from COVID.
I was very lucky. When I got it, I had nothing. I just ruined Christmas. I ruined Christmas because we couldn't do nothing.
I was in the hospital for a while, man.
Wow, really that bad?
Yeah, I almost died.
Oh no, shit. For real?
Yeah. That was that was when it first came out too. That was I was one of the first cases here in Pittsburgh to get it. So
the thing I always found with people who don't believe in it or whatever, and I don't want to get into it too much, but one thing I always said was, why, instead of putting adverts about drinks or what new TV shows on, have people talking about what's their experiences with COVID, like family members who've lost somebody, people who are going through, who've been through it, who've come out on the other side. That puts a real face on what's happening in the world, because people go, oh, it's the government. The government's holding this and the government's doing that. Yeah. It's not in your face. And if you have someone who's like yourself, who've been in a situation when I nearly fucking died, people are like, fuck, that shit's real. This guy ain't making it up. This guy ain't making up he's got COVID. He ain't paying him money.
Keith, the owner of Bucs Report here, his stepson's father just died of it like a couple months ago, man. So yeah, it's real. Don't let nobody fool you with that shit, man.
Nah, man. I mean, I got a grandmother who's going through cancer treatment, so we test before we go see her. And if any of us are positive, we don't go see her. Like if we're remotely unwell, we don't go see her because we want her to be around a lot longer. And she's a tough old bird, so we want her to be around a bit longer.
Yeah, my wife's still got. she's still weak from brain surgery from a year ago, and like I don't let nobody in the door, man. I don't want to go
Mm-hmm.
through that shit again. I went through it twice when it
Mm-hmm.
first it was in the spring and in the late fall that I got it last time when I got it. So
What's it with you, Jeff? And your uncle, you lost your
oh,
uncle.
Jeff, there is normal flu. I mean, you can get checked out. It's flu. You can still get your flu shots and avoid that shit because flu leads to pneumonia. And when your system's weak like that, you can get COVID easily also. So that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing to remember. Get your flu shots, people.
Look after yourselves, guys. That's all I can say. Be around as long as you can.
Absolutely.
So what do you think of the tight end situation? You think it's set? Just leave
Yeah,
it?
I'm fine with the tight end situation, man. We
Yeah,
got my favorite tight ends out of college, man. And Kate Otten. He's spectacular. Cole Kmet. I mean, not Cole Kmet.
yeah, I know him. I can't remember his name off the top of my head
Cole
though.
Keith. Cole
Yeah,
Keith.
that's the one.
Yeah, he's a great blocking tight end. Don't expect him to go out there and be like Gronk getting
No.
off the
I think
Otten's
the
your
thing with
touchdown
him
this year.
was when I look at fourth round pick tight ends, they're not going to get more than 300 yards and a few touchdowns. So that I think some people are kind of hyping him a little too much. I think I'd like me personally. Like, I'm not saying anyone's wrong or anything like that. I would like a veteran presence. But do you know what someone told me the other day? I can't remember his name, but I'm sorry you go nameless on this. He pointed me at a guy called Anthony Eclair who had 300 snaps last year, and I didn't even realize it, and did this and did that and did this, and I was like, shit, that guy went under the radar. So okay, now I'm a little bit more, I'm a bit more cultured. I'm a little more comfortable with it. I think it's the
as far
last.
as veteran presence is Cam Brate. Cam Brate has a veteran. He's been in that locker room forever. He was a walk on, so he fought hard to get his position. He beat out everybody that came at that position. He beat them out, dude. Cameron Brate, he might not be the glitz and glamour you see with George Kittle and
nah, he's a good
Travis
dude.
Kelce and stuff, but Cameron Brate is getting you where you need to be at the tight end position. He's always a reliable source for Brady. They're comfortable together now.
Yeah, I think he's got
and the knowledge that he's gained in his position, he can hand down to the other guys. That's what you want a veteran presence for in the first place, to have somebody there that can on-field coach. And that's basically why we brought what was his name? The cornerback from Seattle.
Richard
Sherman. That's basically why we brought him in, was to be a player coach. It worked out. So I'm good.
I liked him. I didn't have too much of a problem. I think a lot was expected of him very short, and everyone was like, "Well, he's a Pro Bowl guy, and he should do this." And I was like, "He ain't been a Pro Bowl guy for a while. Calm it down, guys."
Yeah, I understood why they were bringing him in. That's
experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had a whole locker room full of cornerbacks that had the veteran cornerback was 4 years, right? The most experience he had was 4 years. So of course you're going to bring in a vet for that group. But our tight end spot's good.
Yeah, I mean it's just once you go past Brate, it tails off a little bit more. But hey,
I think Brate might be your number two.
I'm going to trust the front office because
absolutely
they ain't got it wrong in a while. They haven't got it wrong in a while. So I think who was it? I was big on. There was a person I was one of those ones that wanted Derwin James over Vita Vea. I was one of those advocates. I'll be honest. I'll put my name out there. I will shut up and I took my humble. Not that I thought Vita Vea was a bad pick or anything. I just thought, wow, a safety would be better.
I think I was the only one jumping up and down saying yes when they called Vita Vea's name.
I was happy to get him, but I was like, we missed out on a guy, or just little things like that.
We didn't miss out on a guy. Look, Derwin James hasn't really played that many games, and on top of that, our weakness in that defensive line was in the middle. Man, we were bleeding the run game with Gerald McCoy. We still couldn't stop a run without a Band-Aid. I mean,
absolutely. So I sometimes you're wrong, and I'll take my medicine, and I'm glad that we solved that problem. That's always good. 20
Fred, you just got a star, bud. You just got a star.
There's always one. There's always one.
Oh, Fred's always with us, man. Fred's always he's a regular, man.
Oh, 20-0. I love it. I love it. I love you. I love the enthusiasm.
My other co-host here. Here's my
I'm not
other
sure I buy
quote.
it, but I love the enthusiasm.
Ben, you want to jump on the show with us? You don't have
Yeah,
to
get
stay.
him on.
You don't have to be here for 3 hours. We're not going to be. It ain't Thursday. I'll put this in the StreamYard. Anybody wants to jump in can jump in.
Yeah, jump in. We haven't had guests in here for a while, so it'd be nice to get some new blood in.
Anybody want to jump in? Come on. We'll tolerate you as long as we can.
No, I think I agree with you. I think maybe a little bit of linebacker or DN help would probably be bigger right now because it's
That's the only spot I would like to have. Damn, you said his name just a minute ago. The guy we just let go to the Raiders, and I'd like to have him.
Carl Nassib.
Yeah, Nassib. I'd like to have him back for that presence and stuff.
He was good for us.
He's solid. He was solid, man. And the
That's
year he
what
left,
you want.
he had
That's
10
what you
sacks. So he had 10 sacks when he left. So that's not bad, dude.
Yeah, he did really well for us.
All right, bud.
So what do you think about Baker Mayfield joining the Kitty Cats?
I like it for Baker Mayfield. I don't care about the Cats, but I like the fact that they put Atlanta back down into the basement again.
Yeah, I think Atlanta's done.
Because Atlanta don't have a quarterback. I like Atlanta, what Atlanta's building there. You know, I do.
Got to find it, but it's a bit like us when we were trying to find that person. You know.
Yeah.
They got some pieces, but they ain't got the thing, and people will poach your talent. Then that's the problem. We got Russell Gage out of it. Someone else will get something else out of them, and if they're not careful, if they don't find a quarterback in the next, I'd say 3 years, could Pitts move and go, you know, I'm done with this?
Well, I think the league might be done with Pitts if he don't. He's a tight end, for Christ's sakes. He was the leading tight end in receptions yardage, right?
Yep.
1 touchdown, dude. If you're not working that end zone, you better work that end zone if you're going to be a tight end in this league. You're not.
That's why I was a bit. Personally, I didn't like the fact that he got Pro Bowl. I want touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. He don't block.
I would want you give me a tight end with 750 yards and 8 touchdowns. I know which one I'm picking over the guy who's got 1,000 yards and 1.
Yep. You can't have a tight end that gets pushed around by cornerbacks. I'm sorry. If you're getting pushed around by cornerbacks, then
it means you can't work in close space. He likes to be open. That's why
coming to the league as a tight end instead of a wide receiver. Because first off, you screwed yourself with the money because you're out there playing wide receiver basically because you can't block, you can't get in the end zone. So what are you doing? You're just getting a lot of yards. You're a possession receiver is what you are. So you should have came in the league as a receiver.
Yeah.
Russell Gage, you want to talk about him for a minute? I like that pick by it. I enjoy that.
That was a nice pickup.
Absolutely. So this can segue into the Godwin talk. So
yeah, that's where I was going with it.
Yeah, so I don't really care if they shouldn't, in my opinion, rush Godwin out there because you got Russell Gage. You can see what you got with the backups there behind.
We're spoiled for choice at wide receiver. We're really spoiled.
Yeah.
I mean, it does drop off a little bit, and you've got a lot of guys.
Tyler Johnson, to me, is I would trade him off if I could. If I could get 7th round pick, he'd be gone. He had that one great matrix catch, was fantastic. But then what's he done since then? Nothing. I mean, he's dropped a lot of balls.
And then you've got Scotty Miller, who's got 1 route.
Yeah. Well, he was working on his routes, but you can't. They're going to try to send him across the middle in a slot route. No, man, I can't see that little guy getting hit like that. Get him out in space and run him in the seam routes a little bit and stuff like that. Then I could see him doing something like Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? This guy's got the speed. He's got the hands. But it just the size. You got to make room in your playbook for Scotty Miller and.
Yeah, I agree.
It's up to them.
But I think we've got other players like Cyril Grayson can do the same job.
Yeah,
you just got to get his skill set better.
Yeah, Cyril's great knock on him before last year was always his hands, but he was catching some balls last year, man.
He caught some balls. He did. And then you got Brashad Perriman, who's just the older version, really, isn't he? He's the older version of Cyril Grayson that already can catch, and he only seems to play well for us.
We got a guest in here. We got a new guest. Anthony Handy, glad to see you, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
You had to bring
the
it out.
dirty birds on the go.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I gotta close this. Boom. I gotta close that because my Facebook is open, so I'm getting a double feed from you guys. I'm like, feel like I'm listening to Prince singing Purple Rain. How y'all doing today, gentlemen?
All right, buddy. How
We're
you
doing
been doing? How'd you like
doing-
that take I had on Pitts there, man?
What's that?
How'd you like my take on Pitts?
I was busy trying to log in. I missed what you had to say.
That's why you didn't come in here cussing me out.
Oh well, I heard y'all say that the Falcons were going in the basement. I don't think so.
Well, I think you got to find a quarterback.
You got to find a quarterback.
Doing. I like a lot what they're doing. I'm not sold on Riddle, okay, and Mariota is a filler position. That's a bridge quarterback. You know.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100% on that.
Kyle Pitts is a wide receiver. Him taking the job as a tight end screwed him out of money and screwed the team out of that position because he's not a tight end, dude. He is not. He can't block. Gets pushed around by cornerbacks. He doesn't find the end zone, but he can find the yardage. He's a possession receiver.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that one 100%. You know, when you think of tight ends, you're thinking about. I heard you mention Kittle. You know, everybody likes to talk about Gronk. You'll be all right, Fred Swayze. Listen. let me tell you something right now. See, what we not finna do right now, Skip Bayless, is we not finna do this today, Mr. Fred Swayze Moore. You do not want Uncle Shay Shay coming down there because I will do something before do something. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all don't know. You don't know the can of worms you open having me on here. You brought me and all my personalities.
Man, we all been in the NFC South long enough. We know how that shit is.
Good God! You know what? I'm just gonna say this: regardless of what team wins the division, it is good for the last decade or better that actually 2 decades now that the division has been relevant. Because I remember I was a little boy when Bell was running up and down the field in the creamsicle in the creamsicle outfits and the grits blitz.
Yeah,
and Carolina didn't even exist, and I didn't even know the New Orleans Saints existed until Aaron. Like I knew I didn't know they were in the league till I was a teenager.
I mean, many people did.
Right, except for the Who Dat Nation in New Orleans, and
hold on a second. Let me add to this party here, Bree. Ben Cornette.
I see how it is, Ben. They ask you to come on. You like, nah. I mean, oh snap, fingers is on. Let me get my good clothes on.
Look at fingers out.
What's going on, everybody?
How's it going, buddy?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. You know, I heard Slick say they need some fresh blood on this show, so I thought, oh, what the heck?
Bring it on, man.
Bring it. Yeah, it's 3-on-1. Bucs and Falcons.
Don't you start that, Ben Cornette. We're not about to have another one of those shows.
Man? It's good to talk to you, Anthony. First time, I think, right?
Yeah. First, look, I'll tell you like the radio station. First time, long time. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good.
I don't think I've ever spoken to either of you, so it's good for me.
Yeah, I've been following the show now for when did I get turned on to you guys? About the middle of this past NFL season, and every time I see y'all pop up, I'm clicking the link to jump in because God only knows what's going to happen.
Man, I'm so glad to have you up here, buddy. You've held us together too, bud. Believe that on Thursday nights, man. There's been some nights when it's been so slow.
It comes with the warning. It comes with the warning, you know.
Yeah, we put a little warning label up.
Yeah, may not be safe for children under 18 years old.
That's all right. They're all asleep where I'm at, so all the kids are like right now. It's probably 2:00 in the morning. So,
oh man, that's the time. That's about the time I'm wrapping up Thursday night show.
Exactly. There you go. So
yeah, especially a specific Thursday night show from a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that one, yeah. It's still on their YouTube. I can't believe they hadn't taken it off yet.
Oh, you talking about the Cleveland show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't even know y'all thought about me that much. I appreciate y'all talking about me on the show.
Oh my God, he nailed it.
I was watching the show and I said, "Ooh, that's nasty."
No, you said you were eating at the time, I think.
Yeah. Oh God, dude, I picked the wrong time. I picked the wrong time to have a late night snack. Yeah. My wife was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I don't even want to eat right now."
Yeah.
Oh man, Slick, I'm sorry we kind of took over your show.
Nah,
man.
it's all right, man. We'll talk some Bucs football. We can add a little Falcons love in there if this needs be.
Well, I didn't want to take over. I just wanted to come on and say hello to you, gentlemen, and just let y'all know there are Falcons fans watching, and there are plenty of us.
Hey,
I had no idea. Like, I'm impressed. I'm
yeah.
impressed.
Yeah, we're here. We're here. We've been kind of quiet the last few years, but we're here.
there's a few around. They follow our show quite a bit.
Kyle, yes.
I will
Yeah,
say this:
wow.
there's not very many Falcons fans in Oklahoma City. I will say that.
Oh, hey, homage to the dude.
Hey, you know, there might be more Carolina Panthers fans in Oklahoma City now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Position,
You know
yeah.
what? You know what? True story. True story. The local radio franchise said, "Well, it might not be. You know what? It might not be so bad. One of the best things about this, even if Baker doesn't wind up getting a whole lot of playing time, is we won't have to watch Cleveland Brown games anymore." Because they don't even like the only thing that you get here in Oklahoma City, you get the Dallas games. That's it. That's like the only team that's got guaranteed, and then it's just whatever the heck is on the networks. If you don't have like
Sunday ticket.
yeah, Sunday ticket.
Which, by the way, is going to end
Streaming.
with DirecTV after this year. And
Yeah.
Apple favorite to get it.
It's going
Along
to
with
where?
Amazon.
Apple's the favorite. I hope not. I hope
No,
not.
hell no.
Really?
Keep it away from Apple.
Dude, I got look. I'm already paying. Man, it's a good thing I got a Fire Stick, Amazon Fire Stick. Yeah, I'm gonna
I
figure
got
out how to
Fire
break
Stick.
that.
Fire Stick is legit. Does the
Yeah.
job.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. I'm watching everything on Fire Stick, especially The Boys. If any of you are watching
Oh,
The
yeah.
Boys,
No, I have not watched the new season yet.
I haven't
I'm
seen it
leaving
yet.
it. I'm leaving it.
we won't give anything away. Let's just say that
You're a good
Did
man.
you
You're
see
a
the
good man.
animated season yet?
Diabolical. Yes.
Diabolical,
No,
yeah. Watch Diabolical before you tune into the second season of The Boys.
Okay.
It gives you a little leaning to what might be happening there.
I love The Boys. The Boys is just that TV show that you're like, this is how superheroes would act if they were legit normal people.
Yeah.
You got that much power, a lot of people are going to do weird shit or bad.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we would like to think that all the superheroes would be like Superman and be like, you know, be like Superman and be like, hey, truth, justice, in the American way. No.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's kind of like the opposite of Heroes. Remember that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
I like the heroes. That was good.
Save
That
the
was a good
the cheerleader.
Save the cheerleader. Yeah.
Now,
I just got done watching
is
Stranger
Fred
Things.
still bagging on my hat, or did you just put that back up there just to pick at me?
I didn't put it up there. I think Keith's up there dead.
Oh, okay.
He's hiding out trying to start shit.
I'm just saying, because don't mess with me, because right now the last thing you want, sitting in the corner bloviating. We're not doing that today, because we can talk about that. We can talk about that right now. Pay no attention to my pencil thin mustache and my bad haircut.
So how do you feel about Baker Mayfield going to the Kitty Cats? Was that a signing that you guys should have maybe made?
I don't think I don't think Baker would have come to Atlanta.
I don't think you're
I don't think he has a choice. It's a trade. Then they just
Right.
turn around and go, "You're going there," and he went, "I'm out."
You know what?
I mean, he was upset with the contract.
Baker's got a lot to prove. I say that because he was a stud in Oklahoma and he could never get over the hump. It's a certain other favorite team of mine gave them a good thumping in the college football playoffs. And then he got, he was a high draft pick, was a Heisman Trophy winner, came in with big expectations in Cleveland, and then he got hurt, and they were just like, "Yep, we're just gonna put you on the shelf. We're putting you on the back burner." So I think he's got something to prove. I don't know if he's gonna come in with a chip on his shoulder or not, though.
He did something in Cleveland hasn't been done since Bernie Kosar, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm there with you. I'm with you there. I mean,
but did he do it or did his team do it?
Well, he's got a good fan base, and him himself, Baker has a good fan base in Cleveland.
No, I'm not anti Baker in any shape or form. I think I just don't like his adverts, if I'm honest.
I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you, Slick. It was more of the team.
Okay, wait. You say that team.
What did they do most? They ran the ball. They ran the ball. They ran the ball. They ran the ball.
Stop. Think about when they got that team together. Okay, they had that team together with all the draft picks they got way back in 2010, and they still couldn't do nothing with it. They remember when they did the Dallas thing and fucking just told all their number one picks and stuff, and they got all them draft picks for a couple guys and shit, and they developed. They had a defense and they had that line for years. Joe Thomas just retired. Remember that? He was still playing. Okay, so Baker, all those other quarterbacks before Baker had that same team.
I get what you're saying, but did he have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb?
They had a killer running game all through those years.
No,
he did not.
No,
they didn't have those two. No.
Yeah, Nick Chubb and Baker Mayfield, I think, were in the same draft.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. And did they have Austin Hooper and David Njoku before Baker Mayfield?
Did they have a running game before Baker Mayfield? Yes, they did.
Yeah, but not that good.
I'm just saying that's a killer running game. Would we like to have that run game in Tampa? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just look at the Brown. Look, AFC North has all. So we're in the NFC South talking about the Browns, but you know what? The AFC North and the Browns have a better record against.
I'm just saying,
in the NFC North.
Baker's gone from a team that was loaded to a team that's nowhere near as loaded. Is he going to just look like Sam Darnold?
That's the thing, is that you got Christian McCaffrey. The running meme has been that Christian McCaffrey strained his Achilles tendon reading the notice that Baker had been traded. So that guy's Mr. Glass. He's like Sam Jackson in the M. Night Shyamalan movie, Mr. Glass, for sure.
But they do run the shit out of him, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, and they run him in the ground. It's like the guy, but at that point when he was doing all that running, he pretty much was all they had, because Cam Newton, something happened to Cam after that 15-1 season where they didn't win the Super Bowl. It broke him. He was not the same after that.
Spirit.
It killed his spirit. And then he got ragged pretty good, because I mean, you saw the press conference, like, I didn't, this is what it is, or whatever the hell it was he said. But
he got ragged the most about that time he was staring at that fumble he dropped and he wouldn't even try to pick it up. That's when he got ragged.
Right. I think that was Cam's big problem. Was Cam was used to, this is something that I talk about all the time on the college football show. These kids are big fishes in little ponds in high school and college. And then when you get to the pros, which is the professional football, which is one of the most one of the most exclusive clubs on the face of the planet. You don't just say, I'm going to go play for the NFL, right? And you got guys of equal talent, height, weight, and physical ability. It's just a matter of how well they're coached. You're not just going to show up and beat up on people like you did at Auburn in 2010. You don't get to be Superman all the time. So it broke him. And then they had to depend on what tools they had left. And then as the tools started falling off one by one, it came down to C-Mac. And, you can't run a car engine without putting oil in it. And whoever that was that said that Mercedes-Benz Stadium looked like a Chinese takeout box, I saw that.
Oh, that would be me, sir. And it totally looks like a high-tech Chinese takeout box, actually. Or you forgot the other option. You conveniently left that one out.
It's just that Chinese food is my favorite guilty cuisine. So I saw that.
Go look at the overhead view.
No, I saw the other half. We're not starting another show like we had a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna leave that alone. It opened up and Starscream come flying out.
Well, hey, listen, real quick, like, you may get off the hook on that, Anthony, if Chicago goes ahead and decides to put that roof over their already spaceship kind of stadium. Awkward. You might get off the hook on that one. Can you imagine putting a top on that Soldier Field?
Wow.
Are we going to talk about
football wouldn't ever be the same there, though. I mean, that's one of the things Soldier Field is known for. One of those places that's like hard to play in the winter if you're coming from the West or the South.
Right, sure, right.
It's hard, but is it as hard as playing in Cleveland? Come on, man.
It's hard to play. It's hard for the Cleveland players to play in Cleveland. What are you talking about?
Exactly. Nobody believes in Cleveland.
Well, that's not very nice. No,
I'm kind of a
but-
Cleveland guy because I've been a Bucs fan all my life, and I'm always for the underdog, man. I'm always for that underdog.
Oh, I'm
I
with you.
never have liked being I don't
I
talk
just
about
can't support a
Bucs,
team
Corey.
that wears brown. I'm sorry. In this day and age, no one should need to wear dog shit brown as an actual color for a sports team. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Well, the Padres
It's
do.
unacceptable. Change it to black, change it to orange. Don't matter what you do, just change it. Change your logo. Your logo's the third logo of every NFL team. That little helmet thing, that's everyone's third logo. Just change it. It's terrible. Just rebrand. Just call yourself the Cleveland Dogs. We like it. I prefer it. Be done.
You can't take away that from the Cleveland fans. That's what I'm saying.
Why not?
They love their team.
Oh, I don't doubt that they're huge.
And they're the Dog Pound, man. That is those are diehard fans, dude. So,
but I think they'd like being called the Cleveland Dogs. I think they prefer it. Don't get me wrong. There's history. The Paul Brown, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, that's what that history runs deep with them.
It's
like trying to change the Steelers name.
Brown Dogs.
Steelers
Job done.
for black and gold.
Back Bosch, done. Brown Dogs, done. You still got Browns in the name, done. Now you can have the dogs and you don't have to wear fucking brown. Dog shit brown. No one needs to wear that.
Hold on. You said call them the Brown Dogs. You want to give everybody who already jokes about Cleveland as the laughing stock of the league
dog.
more.
I didn't realize what I was just saying.
More ammunition.
Right.
Because now they're the Guardians. The baseball team's the Guardians. I mean, how much work can you get?
And remember, the original Browns are now the Ravens. So
yeah,
a new branding doesn't hurt a little bit. So
a little rebranding.
Yeah. Well, anyway, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. I appreciate you all letting me on.
Anytime.
Right. Awesome.
This has been everything that I thought it was going to be. Y'all, somebody was talking about. I just got talking about food. I got hungry. I have not eaten all day. I just realized, so I might need to go.
We might need to change the topic then from Cleveland.
Oh no, you could. just don't come back to we're not doing nobody talk about no carpet cleaning, no Stanley steamer, none of that. Crazy.
Johnny, you're making me excited about coming on your show now.
I'm gonna leave y'all with this one thought right here. I just had to come on because I saw that y'all let Shannon Sharp come on. Shannon Sharp is terrible. Shannon don't even know how to say. Shannon Sharp is terrible. If you ask Shannon Sharp what 10 plus 1 is, he'll tell you 11. The last time I checked, 11 is what the Hebrews put in their bread when they was in the desert, when they was trying to get away from the Egyptians. It's not 11, it's 11, Shannon. That's terrible. I just want to say that. Y'all have a good day. I will see y'all later.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
Oh man, I can't wait to have you on. I can't wait to have you on. Show.
Anytime,
look, see you, Anthony.
I will be anytime you need a guy to come on and do what. Just call me Black Caliendo. I'll come right on then.
Caliendo.
Black instead of Frank Caliendo. I'm Black.
Anytime
Caliendo.
you want to come on, man. Anytime.
Right,
I'll appreciate you.
Y'all take it.
Hey, Teresa, how you doing, girl?
Hey,
hope you're doing good, Teresa.
I hope we're not ruining it too bad for you, girl.
Like, what the hell's Ben doing on here tonight?
Like, who are these
It's
people?
Thursday.
They got past the firewall. They
Where were we at,
it.
Godwin? I think we were talking about
It totally looks like a Chinese takeout box, dude.
It does.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about Megatron's butthole over there for a while.
What's the next topic?
Godwin, I think, was where we were at.
We're segueing into Godwin. So he's got. I believe Ian Rappaport came out and said that it's looking like he's going to be ready for week 1.
Yeah,
which is positive.
I don't
but
care.
now we're not freaking about going,
rest.
should we go and get this person, that person, this person, that person, because we're like, Odell Beckham, freaking this person. There's a insert name here, as I say.
No. Yeah, no. Don't insert nobody's name. We're good there. We're good.
I mean, I think it would be great if he could get there by week 1, but I don't think it's necessary. I mean, we got 17 games. Yeah. Let him come back when he's 100%. And
there's no point in rushing back, but I think he'll want to get back. And I think, unfortunately, the Bucs will want him back as soon as possible, too.
Yeah, I could see that, too. But
it's just, I think with the schedule that they got, they do not want to miss a beat.
Because you got to go up to Dallas and then play New Orleans in week 2. That's big.
And it's in New Orleans, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
first 2 games.
You don't want that to be a double hitter, and you're there going, shit, we're 0-2.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd like to go.
I think they want him ready for week 1 for sure. Okay. I think it depends. What has Dallas done? They've had some changes too. They got rid of Amari Cooper, haven't they? He's gone.
They did.
So they're a bit weaker in the receiver department.
They did sign Dalton Schultz. Last week they were talking about whether Dalton Schultz was going to be there or not, but
yeah, there was rumors that we might
trade a tag on him. So,
and they still got CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
They're number 1 now. So,
but then where does it go from there? From the receiver, because they've got no run. Their running backs are okay. We're a run like fuck you team. So.
Yeah, I mean, they got a decent core of receivers. I'd have to look at their depth chart, but as far as I know,
can't remember the third guy on the depth chart off the top of my head. I cannot think of his name for the life of me. It begins with an M. But
the best receiver they got playing back up to Zeke, Tony Pollard.
Pollard, yeah, Tony. Yeah, I think Pollard could eventually be the number 1. They make with Zeke with all that money he's making, not being that number 1 that he's supposed to be.
Slated to be. Well, you saw him come out of college and they were like, he's a generational talent. I hate draft analysts. Probably my pet peeve. Draft analysts. If you say generational talent enough, one day you might be right.
They say it way too much when it comes to Dallas players. It really does.
They say it in general, to be honest. It's just you say it enough, you're going to get it right eventually, and then you look like a legend. I would rather pick the undrafted guys that make a difference and go, that guy's gonna be a dude, that guy's gonna be a dude, because you saw something nobody saw.
Bucs
anyone can pick the really good guy from Ohio State who's balling. Anyone can pick the best quarterback in football from college football that year, like a Joe Burrow, and say that's a generational talent. It's easy. Give me the hard take. Give me the guy coming out of Harvard that nobody thinks can make a roster and go, this guy could actually be it. And if you don't pick on it, it doesn't matter because no one will care. No one will care because you talk about
Ali Marpet coming out of Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, the one good thing about Jason Light is the undrafted free agents he's done.
Yep.
He's very good at undrafted.
Cameron Bray. When Adam Humphries was here.
Adam Humphries.
Yeah. So
Adam Humphries. I'm a big fan of Adam Humphries. I'm really surprised we didn't try and test the waters on him because he looked like a Brady type of receiver.
He wanted money. He wanted the money. So I don't blame him.
Because he had a bit of a decline when he went to Tennessee. So I would maybe think we might get him on the cheap, like a rookie. Not rookie. Sorry, a vet minimum kind of deal. Maybe a little bit more than that because of what he had done at Tennessee, which wasn't.
I had completely forgotten that Fred Wilson.
And that what's that?
Yeah.
Wilson looked like he was going to take the top spot there, and they got rid of him too.
Well, they got CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. Those are their top
that's
two.
Gallup. That's the guys, and Michael Gallup.
Yeah. So I mean, they're still going to be a decent team. They're still going to fumble it in the postseason, but I think they'll sneak into the playoffs. But Philly's going to win that division. I think. I got them 11-6, Philly, in that division.
11-6 on Philly. Yeah, I mean they've got some pieces. They got some pieces. I mean they do look nice, to be honest. If you're Philadelphia and you're looking at your team, if their quarterback can't do it, you've got to move on because that team's kind of loaded now.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is that bad.
No, I really don't. I'm just saying, like, if he can't perform now, he probably ain't gonna.
Well,
I'm not saying cut him straight away or anything like that. I'm just saying is like you might want to start looking in the market and keeping your eye on it if you're Philadelphia and he doesn't pan out.
Right.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all have Philly winning that division, don't we, Ben?
Yeah. I mean,
I would go with Philadelphia on winning that one.
I mean, I think they're a top 4 team with the Bucs, Rams, and Packers. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Teresa makes a good point.
I even if he's fully healthy, I'd let him rest a little bit more and keep him and get him in better shape. Because football shape is different than just being in shape. You know,
Oh, we saw it. Gronk year one. It took him ages before he really became the Gronk of what we remember.
Right there, yeah.
You know, that's why he had the blocking tight end, and I came in a block, baby. I loved that. I was a big fan of it. I think
he's always been a great blocker, though. I mean, that's not a stretch.
No, it's not. But I think it's the fact that he's known for like that kind of seam play, straight down the middle, run it up the gut, kind of.
Well, without that, then he wouldn't even be known because nobody pays attention to tight ends that just do their
All
job.
he did was just block for the first 3 weeks, I think it was, and they're like, "Why are you not getting the ball?" And he's like, "I came in a block, baby." And I was like, "I like that dude. I like his style." And it's probably not like you said. It's not far from what he's doing anyway. And I think they just built him up. But then a part of me was thinking, are they just holding him back? And everyone thinks.
No, did you hear the mic'd up version of Gronk? Have you heard Gronk mic'd up?
I've heard some of it, but I've not heard it.
About blocking. He got excited about blocking. Did you see me handle that defensive tackle? Did you see me handle him by one-on-one?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there we go. That's my Gronk.
I mean, he's just so personable, you know?
Yeah.
What I love about him.
A big loss, but, we've got to move on.
Yeah.
You think he's going to come back? That's the thing that everyone's talking about right now.
I could see it. Week 14,
I was thinking about this that Christopher Cole just said here in his comment.
3, something.
So go on. Godwin should
said,
not play week 2 because the Saints will go after knees.
They absolutely will. I mean, we've seen.
You know what though? The Buccaneers have a secret weapon for the dirty Saints now. You go after a player's knees, the Buccaneers are going to send a nice young gentleman named Keith after you, and he's going to waylay you. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go check his blocking video.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about. Just
okay, so hey, and the Saints, yeah, you played dirty. You tried to retaliate basically because you thought Devin White intentionally hurt Jameis Winston. Here's the thing: when your quarterback runs like a baby giraffe, there's going to be some odd tackling situations. Okay, and that's what happened.
That tackle was awesome. I love that tackle. He just literally grabbed him like, nope, get down.
Isn't that something? We got 2 mad redheads out there on the offense.
Well, we got rid of Alex Kappa. He was a strawberry blonde.
Yeah.
And we brought in another redhead.
We got Ryan Jensen and Keith now, though. I mean, they look like they could be brothers.
Yeah.
They went on special teams.
Well, actually, Ryan Jensen looked like he ate Keith.
Ryan Jensen, I don't know if you guys know much about British music, but there was a band back in the 90s called Simply Red.
Yes, everybody's heard
I've heard of him.
He looks like Mick Hucknall all fucking day, just that he's eating a lot of cheeseburgers. You know what I'm saying? That guy, and Lyman, they're the buffet boys, so they like to eat.
Yep,
they're the buffet boys. That's when anytime we're recruiting for our O-line, we always say, like, if you like a buffet, come down. We'll sort you out. We'll get the buffet boys will be on. Like, we'll sort you out. We'll get you your dinner.
Absolutely, man. Just put up the buffet.
Yeah, we got to hang out with those guys.
I'm too skinny to hang out with the buffet boys. I get too full too quick.
What's the Bucs' weakest link?
Ooh, good question. I would say probably maybe the secondary still, but not by much. You know what I mean? Like, you did lose Jordan.
I think with that topic, who's the weakest link at the wide receiver position? Because we're loaded at wide receiver, so who's the weakest link? Who goes?
Wide receiver.
That's what I think. That's what the topic's meant to be.
I would probably say right now Tyler Johnson
over
Jalen Darden and Miller. So
Jalen Darden's going to stay in just for punt return anyway. So his special teams ability.
Oh God, I'm so tired of seeing him with the punt return.
Yeah,
Jesus,
but
I would love to find a Peanut Tillman somewhere in the world, man. Please.
You'd like to find what?
A Peanut Tillman.
Tillman.
Peanut Tillman.
Type of player.
You said Peanut.
He was a cornerback, but what's his name? That used to be a return guy for the Bears or
Hester.
Devin Hester.
Yeah, Hester. Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to find somebody like him or Josh Cribbs.
I think everyone would love to find a guy like him. He's banging on the Hall of Fame, so.
I mean, we still haven't got a return guy. How long has the Bucs been looking for a return guy? As long as we've been looking for a quarterback.
I'll say this: everybody always talks about Devin Hester, and rightfully so, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But for pure entertainment on returning kicks, it's Dante Hall all day.
Oh my God! Thank you, dude. I love Dante Hall.
The human joystick.
Yeah.
He literally had a juke button in each shoe.
Man. Dante Hall aggravated me because he had. Oh my God!
Yeah.
He would completely do things that you train them not to frickin' do. Okay, get your lane, follow your lane. He didn't see a lane. He never saw a lane. It was just bumper cars. It was
just
bumper cars.
Boom. Yeah. But that's what kind of made him unique, though.
Yeah,
he got away.
It's so frustrating to watch, dude. I'm like, he's going down. He's going to lose 20 yards. What the hell? He just gained 50 yards. You know what I mean?
That's what I loved about it.
But then you go with the highlights, you got to go with the lowlights too. So there's probably those times where he's danced around in the field and he got walloped, and it is
exactly. But to be fair, the lowlights for Devin Hester was he was actually a wide receiver that couldn't get on the field as a wide receiver.
Right.
Yeah. So. And that's been my argument about the whole Hall of Fame thing, and people saying, "Oh, he's a Hall of Fame." Like, do you know how hard it is for a wide receiver to get in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, you want to put him in on his kick return abilities. I mean,
and you're now going for a wide receiver who's don't get me wrong, he's one of the best, like top 3 in the position of all time, right? I think that's undisputed. He's top 3 of his position all time. But there's a very simple thing you can do to stop Devin Hester: punt to the sideline.
Yeah,
kick return's a bit tougher, for sure, but punt return, kick to the sideline.
And now with the NFL rule changes, or kick returns at least aren't very seldom. You know what I mean? They don't happen that frequently. So basically, you couldn't put Devin Hester in the Hall of Fame for a position they're kind of trying to weed out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
this is the thing about I'm a rugby guy at heart, so there's a rule that they use in rugby that I think really should translate into American football. If you kick off or you punt, if the ball bounces before it hits the white line, that's on you. You should have fielded the ball.
That's cool.
That's on you.
Yeah.
Is that where they spot the ball?
No, it'll be spotted where it bounced out. So what would happen? Say, for example, you got kick return. You kick it, and you kick it.
It's not a live ball after that. It hits the ground, huh?
You kick it to the sideline, but it bounces inbounds before it bounces outbounds. That's on the return team's fault for not fielding the ball. It's not my fault you're a pussy and you can't catch the ball.
Well, also that would, if you continue at a live ball, that would also, if you have to pick that son of a bitch up, how many fumble returns there would be?
Make your teams interesting. Like, just make it worth competing over the ball, because right now it's just kick the ball as far as you can, and then they have a touchback, and we start at the 25 or the 20, and we get on with it. I like the idea of the field of play is where you've got to keep the ball's got to stay in. So if you kick it before it hits out of bounds and it bounces out of bounds, that's on the kick returns team's fault. Your job is to kick return, not kick and wait for it to fall out.
Or kick it out of bounds.
And that way you get more tactical kicking, because you're going to get guys who are going to kick towards the sidelines, and then you're going to have more skill set.
Well, we got tactical kicking because most of these guys can kick it through the field, the uprights.
Oh, for sure.
They're kicking off that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Justin Tucker could make a living at it if that was part of the game. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in kick. I'm not really interested in special teams that much, except they infuriate me.
I tend to turn it when we do our special team stuff. I tend to just kind of look at my feet. I'm not interested in the slightest in special teams.
I still think
I do apologize if any of the Black Knights are watching. I care about you on special teams. Just don't tell me that you're on special teams. I won't.
I just still think special teams is one of the most important things in football. I mean, it's field position, everything. It really is.
Anthony kicking it again.
Do you know how much? Do you know how many team? My team's not very good. I will point that out. We've only we win in a 17-game non-win streak, and we snapped that last weekend. We drew a game a year last year, and now we've won a game, so we snapped the streak. Do you know how many points we've given up on special teams? None.
Ooh. Wow.
And do you know how much time we spend on special teams? 10 minutes. Now, at a professional level, I get where you're coming from. The non-pro level is it's literally like, just stay in your lane, do your job.
If they did through high school like they do in the professionals, where you're actually worried about field position, then it would be more interesting. But
exactly, like no one cares. Most of our teams, when they get inside the 50, they go on fourth down, guaranteed, because no one can pin a punt at that level. No one can kick a 50-yard field goal, so they just fucking go for it. Trust your defense.
Yeah.
So thank you, Fred Swayze. Much appreciated. We were celebrating. I do believe I sent the dude a video of myself a few runs in, celebrating a win. I did a little video for my boys, basically kind of thanking them, and it was good fun. It's a goofy video. I'm a very goofy coach. I like to be silly and stupid because I want to be that kind of guy that they want to kind of turn up and play for. I walk into team meetings and go, "Daddy's home," and they just shut the fuck up. Daddy's home.
Daddy's home.
Don't let Daddy down.
I think Devin Hester was a defensive back.
No, I'm sure he was a wide receiver that just couldn't make it.
I know Josh Cribbs was they made him a wide
receiver. And special teams. So true.
That's the one. That'll always be the skid mark on Jason White's drafting underwear. Drafting Roberto Aguayo.
I love that. I love your analogy there. The skid mark. I love that.
I'll never forgive him for that. I don't care how influenced he was to do that. He should never move up to the second to draft a kicker. I don't care how great they were. That was just a.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you can. I mean, I was a bit weird about the punt one this year, the fourth round. I was like, ooh. I mean, people get punters in undrafted a lot.
Well, I get wherever.
I've learned to trust.
What was that coach's damn name?
Which one?
The Falcons coach that we
ended up Cutter. The
every time, everywhere he's ever been, they've drafted kickers high. Okay, that was why Jason Light got that guy.
Right, but again, I don't care how influenced you are by you should not move up
to second round. Your head coach carries a lot of influence, especially when Jason Light gets woke up in the middle of the night to tell you by your owners telling you to get rid of Lovey because we're going to move Jason Cotter into that spot.
The head coach works for the GM, so
the GM.
As much as everyone hated having Lovey in, the defense wasn't that bad.
But come on, man, the offense. I'm a defensive guy, but when you come in and you rip up the trenches like he did, I was so curious, man.
I got you. I'm just saying, defensive-minded coach. But you look at him in his track record; he's just defense.
That's why I have a lot of hope for the Texans this year. I mean, they on paper right now they look okay. I really like Davis Mills, man. I do, and I don't want Lovey to go in there and destroy the guy.
You know what though?
He's an interim coach. He's an interim coach. They'll find someone else for sure.
Okay, maybe, but I got to tell you, the Texans played pretty well down the stretch.
Yeah, they did. They played damn good.
Lovey,
I think Lovey's still a good sense of competition. I think he's just not. He needs a good offensive coordinator. You get that guy a good offensive coordinator, he's going to be fine. And that's the problem.
But I think he might be deferring too. Maybe he's learned from his time in college. Maybe going to college for a few years and then coming back. Maybe it gives him a different perspective on how to coach now. Maybe he'll do well.
I'm from his tree of coaching because I was taught most of the stuff that I know about coaching by Hardy Nickerson.
Oh yeah.
Teresa says, "Tell your team congratulations from all of us."
Thank you, my darling. We will. I mean, we partied very hard. I won't lie. We partied very hard. It was some fun. But we got another game next week against the bitter rivals. So the cross-state rivals. Yeah, our biggest rivals. We're nicknamed the Sauce. I did not know this because of the Worcester sauce.
Yeah.
So that's our nickname is the Sauce. I like that. It's got a good vibe. But with the Worcestershire Black Knights, that's the actual name, and we're up against Hereford Stampede, and they're our bitter rivals. We drew with them, they've beaten us, and they've beaten us. So the last game we played against them, my defensive scheme got us to a draw.
You got to do something with Worcestershire sauce and that team. You got to do something like make a necklace of bottles of Worcestershire sauce or something for interceptions or some shit, man. Do something.
The problem is people from Worcester don't really care. It's just a sauce that's made here. Yeah, that's the problem. But I like the name, the sauce. I think we can incorporate that into like
love that way though. You see?
We can incorporate that into like the vibe of the team, like bring your sauce.
Yeah, there you go.
That kind of stuff. We can do that, but I don't know about that. We do Shades of Glory, so we have these. I might have to go grab them. I'll go grab them in a minute because I don't want to just disappear. But we have these big ass goggle-eyed shades, and when you get your interception or you get your fumble recovery or what have you, come up and the whole team is around you. You get me in the middle. I crown you with the shades, and we do a 2 clap and a Ric Flair, and we go, woo! And that's just everyone. The whole team does it, and it's just our little thing that we do every time. It just gets our vibes going. I got called out during the game. One of my Sam linebacker tournament. Why, when you break down the huddle, Slick, why do you always come up with really complex words? And I went, what's wrong with my words? And he went, why don't you break down on dominate and defense? I went, because everyone breaks down on it. So yeah, but you break down on swing your dick. Because it's funny. Go hit someone and they're like, but it's really difficult to say. And I'm like, you went to university, I didn't. Don't fuck off.
Get on the sauce, man, and then you get Sauce Gardner.
Get saucy. I like that. Oh, Ben, you're a boy. I like that. Let's get saucy, boys.
Well, think about it. Then maybe somebody leaks one of the YouTube videos over to Sauce Gardner, Ahmad Sauce Gardner, and he starts following you guys.
We could get sponsored by Worcestershire sauce. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, build your brand there, bruh.
Bring in the sauce. Bring your sauce.
Oh, I like that one too. Bring your sauce.
Bring your sauce, or Worcestershire Black Knights. What's your sauce?
Give out a gold.
Oh, you so much. It's like my brain is percolating.
Slick. Get a gold chain of Worcestershire.
I'm not that rich.
Well, plated gold.
I'm fucking. I'm not that rich, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Get a chain for your kids, and whoever gets MVP gets the chain.
Unfortunately, I don't coach kids. They're all adults. They're all idiots.
Well, they're kids then.
They're all fucking clowns now. And most of my guys are over 19. They're 19 to 30.
They'd probably go for the gold chain faster than the kids would then.
Because I used to play for the team back in the day.
Right.
So I slowly transitioned from player coach to DP. Yeah. I was asked the other day if I'd be head coach. That's
damn, you're moving up, bud.
I don't know if I could do head coach. I'm not an X's and O's guy. I'm a Jimmy's and Joe's. I'm all
energy. I talked to you were just doing DB coaching and stuff.
Yeah. That's it. I started off DB because I was a DB myself. I was a free safety. I was like backup free safety. But my deal was I just liked hitting people, and I couldn't catch a ball, couldn't catch a cold, had a hands like digital watch.
Well, that's why you played DB.
That's why I played DB. But I could hit, and I just went and found the ball and sniffed out. See ball, run, hit ball, job done. You know, and I love doing it. And then I just went, you know what? I'm getting old. My wife was begging me to stop playing, and I decided to stop.
You teaching them
I think I might sneak on this year though.
Teaching them how to punch the ball. Get you a boxer in there and have.
We played last year and we were so low on players that I ended up playing, and our corners at that point in time in 4 games had made 2 tackles. We were terrible. So I went in the game going, right, okay, I'll go in. Went in, come back out. I turn around to my corners, guys, come in. Right. I've got 4 tackles. That's the standard. Go do it. You got to beat this. You either make the standard or you beat the standard. And I'm a fucking nobody. Like when I played, I've got one start under my belt. You guys have got 3 starts, 2 starts each. 3 starts each. Sorry, we were 3 games in, so 3 starts each. I got 1, and I've outplayed you. Don't let me do it again. Daddy doesn't want to go on the field.
Hey Ben, when we get off the show, add Slick there to the chat, okay?
Oh, to our chat. Okay.
Yeah, off the rails.
Oh, well,
or the NFL edition, either one, both.
Yeah, man, I'm cool.
Oh yeah. Well, what's his name though? Like actual name? Like
Steve Flick Probert.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'm one of a kind, baby.
Oh no, I believe it. The stories I've seen Buc Wild.
Okay.
I didn't even know.
I don't know my own reputation.
I knew his hours were completely opposite of ours, so I never actually invited him to a show, man. And then I look over there and see Teresa's show on, and there he is. I'm like, damn, Steve's on that show now.
Yeah, I used to do cheap seats.
Yep.
That's
you
how I
used to follow Cheap Seats, and you used to follow the other show that we had. Peter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that guy.
He who shall not be named.
That's why I said that guy.
That's all good.
All good. Yeah.
So the last thing. So I think we got some. Who is our weakest link? Do you think it's Johnson?
Yeah.
I think so. I think he should be better than he is right now, though.
Were we referring to starters? Because I don't think we have a. Like I said, if we're talking.
Okay, we're talking about who you're going to cut camp, because you got 6 guys, because the Bucs are going to keep 6 for sure.
Okay, you're talking about camp cuts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're talking about camp cuts, or are you talking about the weakest link on the starting roster?
Camp at the end of camp. Who's going to be the 53?
Oh,
in your opinion. We're all going for Mike Evans. Number 1, Mike Evans.
A lot of cuts, man, to get down to 53.
I mean, I think Perriman makes
I think we pretty much know. Come on, it's the wide receiver core. You haven't. Come on.
Oh well, I think the wide receiver core is set, man.
Perriman's going to be
who's the weakest link then?
Perriman's going to be there ahead of Johnson.
Gage, I mean, they're all there.
Gage is going to be there. Godwin's going to be there. Evans is going to be there. Anybody after Perriman is liable to be cut.
So basically, what you're saying is between Cyril Grayson and Johnson.
Cyril Grayson, and Miller,
and Scotty Miller.
I could see Grayson going on the practice squad.
I like you can put Grayson to practice squad because his salary's very, very little. The only thing is he on a 1-year deal?
I like him better than I like Darden or the rest of them.
But I think Darden's going to be there because of punt return. I just don't see it. Unless I can just see you, man.
Yeah, Johnny's like, no. Here we go.
No.
I've just set him on fire. He's burning up. Who would you want as punt returner?
Anybody but
Scotty Miller. Why not
say that? You got to have a legit argument for it. Come on, Johnny.
All right, watch his returns. He doesn't follow the lanes. They are clear lanes opened up for him. Our
I agree.
gunners and the linemen out there are
but who's better
at keeping the lanes open. And he never, 100% never follows a lane. Get him the hell.
9 times out of 10, he's lost at sea.
Yeah.
Was he any different than Minkins? Was he any different?
He was no different than Minkins. Minkins and him were the same exact way.
Right.
Sit there.
I would say Minkins was slightly better, but not by much. It's very tough to call.
They both panic, and that's what I don't like about them. I mean, I wish what's his name? The other redhead on the return team, the gunner, the linebacker.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember.
Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
I wish he could return a punt because that's a beast, man. He brings everything he's got with him every play.
But does he have the hands?
On the field,
that's
man.
the key. Does he have the hands? That's
he's on defense, so probably not.
Yeah.
Grant, what about the running backs? I mean, if we got a running back that could do it, could Gio Bernard do it?
We could, but will he? Because he's getting up in age.
He's getting up in age, but he's trying to get a job.
I think he's.
What about the rook? What about the rookie that we got?
Grant Stewart. That's
Grant Stewart. Yeah. That guy's going to. He's going to move into a backup role on the line
for sure. But and he's
linebacker.
going to be a back. He's going to have the backup role. But could he do punt return?
No. I'm talking about just.
We're talking about
He
Bernard.
said Grant Stewart. I started talking about linebackers,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to eventually get in the rotation. Who? I don't give a shit about returners.
I literally just saw you put a face when I turned around and said Jalen Darden's going to make the team, and you went, "Oh God!"
Anybody that will at least grab the ball and not lose fucking yardage, okay?
In other words, what you want is a guy who catches the ball and just runs straight and just fucking
hit a lane, follow a friggin' lane. That's what these 2 fucking wide gaps are in front of you, dude. Pick one and go. You know?
I agree.
You're not. We were just talking about Hall a minute ago, and Hall without talent is what we got now.
Rashad White, that's the guy. What about Rashad White?
I know he's going to get a start. He's going to be the number 2 guy.
Yeah.
You
You want him on. You want him as the next to Fournette. You don't want him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
at least right. Yeah.
That's going to be, dude. I'm telling you, the Buccaneers are going to have a top 6 running back duo this year.
Yeah.
Hell, I'd go top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, you only went 1 up, so it's not like you're making a big statement there.
Listen,
it's been a while. Somebody that can block. Buccaneers have had a top-rated run.
I tell you what, if we're in the top 10, that's all that matters. Because you have a top 10. If you have a top 10 rushing team and you're a top 5 passing team, and you've got a top 10 defense, you got a chance to win the Super Bowl.
I just think those are 2 dynamic running backs right there, and they're going to be battling this year in camp.
I mean, he sounds like he wants it because
Leonard's no baby. Leonard's no pussy. You don't push Leonard around. And Rashad White's right there. I think he's going to fill Leonard's shoes when Leonard's done playing.
Yeah, and he can block.
Yeah, he can actually block. The greatest thing about him. That's the greatest thing, man. We're done with these non-blocking idiots that don't want to play. Yeah. Sorry, Howard. Sorry, Rojo.
Ronald Jones.
Rojo. Oh, man. Rojo was a great north and south runner, but he could not block to save his life.
He's already in trouble where he's at, so he's probably not going to be in the league long either. We'll be seeing him next year.
He'll be sitting next to Doug Martin on the couch watching football.
Yeah. Or in the USFL or XFL or Canadian.
I could see him in the USFL, Johnny. I could see him there. Ronald Jones in the USFL.
Yeah, I could see him there.
Yeah, he's in Kansas now. Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yep.
Blocking for Mahomes.
Yeah, he's not working out so well.
So he's gone from a team that has a good offensive line to a team that has an abysmal defensive line.
They're not abysmal no more.
I'm just messing because of the Super Bowl, how we manhandled them.
Yeah.
And now he's got to come and max protect. Oh, man.
That'll be fun to watch.
He's going to stare at the defender running by him and going like this. That's all I can't get that image out of my head.
I'll tell you what, the thing that irritated me, I liked Rojo until the playoffs. When we got to the playoffs, he didn't play because he felt sick. And then I saw him mic'd up where Fournette was like, dude, I need you. Like, come on, let's go. And he's like, oh, mate, I'm not feeling. And I'm like, this is the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, Mike was banged the fuck up in the playoffs.
That's attitude. That's another
And he was like, no, that guy, Mike Evans, had never been to the playoffs in his career. Yeah. Goes to the playoffs, and he's like, nah, I'm not missing that game. I'm not missing it because he got banged up in the last game of the season, didn't he? He got banged up in the last game. And everyone was like, oh, is he going to make it? And then I think it was the coaching staff went, there's no way he's not going to let it. We're going to have to, like, put a ball and chain on him to stop him going out as much. So
absolutely,
he went out and he balled out. And to have someone like Ronald Jones go, no, I'm not going in. I said, that shows your attitude. That shows how much you want to win, doesn't it? That's hard to watch. Because I like the guy. Like, the dude, as a person, he kind of came as a nice guy. He's cool. He's he seemed like the kind of guy you want to root for. And then he ruined his role.
Well, what did it for me was the Jets game. He only needed to get one more yard to get a first down. And he went out of bounds.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, "That's it. Get him out of here. Like, don't even play him the rest of the season." Like, You know what I mean? Like that's just the attitude. You know,
dude. When you see Godwin out there blocking for Brady and throwing these defensive tackles and shit, and making good blocks, and then because Godwin's small compared to Jones, dude.
Yeah.
Right. And then Jones is getting pulled over by a friggin' cornerback on a cornerback blitz. Kiss my ass, man. Get out of here. Get out of here with that bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, but you can't have it happen consistently.
It was,
Right.
it was like having Conte out there to me.
I think Conte gets a bad rep, in my opinion.
I don't give Conte a bad. You got to wait a minute. Conte was very intelligent, one of the smartest players in football. His body let him down. He wasn't supposed to be going out there and
going after a tight end.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be doing that shit. But
someone turned around to me and went, "I got embarrassed." He went for a guy who's like 30 pounds heavier than him. Of course, he was going to lose.
Yeah.
Well, but I also thank Vance McDonald for ended it early for Conte. You know.
Yeah, because Conte was out there physically outnumbered.
No, I don't want to see anybody get injured. I just say, let's not keep your career going any longer.
Get on the.
I think he was done. I didn't realize he was like his family's quite famous.
Oh, is it?
His dad's in the Godfather movie. Oh, no, sorry, his grandfather's in the Godfather movie. He plays Don Barzini in the original Godfather movie.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
We
nice.
just talked about the Godfather, Ben. Why didn't you bring this up?
Well, by the way,
look at Chris Conte's grandfather played Don Barzini.
You realize we're in mafia heaven here with Ben Cornett. He Vegas. He runs Vegas, dude.
You run Vegas.
I can't confirm or deny that. Yeah. Okay.
I like your style, Ben. I like your style.
Eminence.
Well,
you're always welcome in the UK.
Oh, I appreciate that. I love that. Thank you so much, Slick.
I just mailed Ben a fish in a box. So.
They know. Hey, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and step out. It was great. Thanks for having me on, man. I really Slick. Good to talk to you finally.
Yeah, much appreciated, man. It's good to chat to you. So, come on anytime. We can always shoot a bit of Bucs.
Great. Sounds good, man. Hey, Johnny, I'll see you guys later. Okay.
All right. See you Thursday. Oh man, what a night.
Yeah, I mean, we went to overtime. We usually run about an hour. We're about here now, so I think we've done good.
Yeah, well, that was why we kind of wanted to go early.
I think
10 o'clock here now, so yeah.
I'm good. I mean, I've got no topics, so I think we've exhausted all the content. I mean, we've got to see what's happening next, don't we?
Tim's trying to start some more content, but Ben already hauled us.
Serious. I can't.
So,
play Pokemon.
All right, we discussed. I got one more thing. We discussed the weakest link. What's the strongest link? And don't say Brady. Just that goes without saying. What's the strongest link on the team? I'll give mine.
I'm a defensive-minded coach. I'm going to go with linebacker core.
See, I say the strongest link on the team is that anchor in the middle, Vita Vea.
Mm-hmm.
That's without that whole defense works because of him.
Him and Levante David. It's designed to have someone like him in it to do that. So yeah, he's the sap in the 4-3, and that's not me like ragging on. It's just like you need to like if you're running the Tampa 2, you need to have a dominant 3 and you need to have a dominant weak safety. A weak backer. When you run what Todd Bowles runs, you need to have a bully in the middle.
Yep. And
that's exactly what he is. And you can tell when he was not on the field, the Bucs were, I wouldn't say woeful, but the production was much lower. I mean, Shaq Barrett, you can look at when Vita Vea is not in the game and Vita Vea is in the game, his stats are way more like exciting.
Yes.
You know? And it's because he's a fucking bully. Like he just manhandles human beings.
And he developed with Sue beside him, man. That's what I love about him. I mean, he already had a nasty attitude. I mean, you don't see it when he's just talking nice and stuff to people, but on the field, he's a nasty player, boy. He gets down and
There
throws
are
people
some
around.
players out there that have that like meanness in them and then can switch it. Like our greatest
Reggie White.
player of all time. In Leroy Salmon, he was a gentleman off the field and in between plays, but an absolute animal on the snap.
I knew Leroy and Dewey both, man. That's just a great family, man.
And then you have people like, I mean, I don't want to rag on him too much because I hate talking crap about players because it's not my deal, because I'd give anything to be in their shoes.
Exactly.
So I don't want to be that person going, oh, that person's trash and that person's this. I don't want to do that. But Jerry McCoy was just too nice. And I liked him. I like Jerry McCoy.
You're giving him the benefit of the doubt. He was the best. He made those Pro Bowls. He was one of the best defensive tackles we had, not in our generation, because we've had some great defensive tackles on this team.
But he was top 5 of his generation.
Yeah. But not as defensive tackle as whole, but a pass rusher. He was that. He didn't really stop the run too well. He couldn't stop a run with still a bulldozer. Fred, I'm taking this down. I ain't gonna even look at it. Bad memories there, Fred. Yeah, I guess
would be Mike Evans.
Can't go wrong.
It is, but then you could turn around and say Devin White and Levante David. You could say the same with. You could find the safeties aren't even bad out. The safeties are good, man. Like, I like that safeties.
If you're talking,
I always felt that Mike Edwards, this was his time, because I like Jordan Whitehead.
A lot of people have, man. A lot of people did. I mean,
Jordan Whitehead was a good player in the box, but he wasn't very good in space. And I'm not saying he's a bad player in space. So if anyone wants to come at me and say, "Oh, you're saying he's bad," no.
Who's that?
Jordan Whitehead.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Jordan Whitehead.
He was John Lynch reincarnated.
He was great. Yeah, absolutely.
He hard hitter, man. It was just him and Edwards has got the same thing too, though. Edwards is all or nothing. He's a ball hawk.
Yeah.
And a lot of times he misses a play because he's after that ball. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But usually,
that's what ball hawks are like. Ball hawks they take a risk, and that's the difference in a play. Like, it's like learning that. Is it worth going for it, or is it worth just playing it? Yeah, if you go for it and you get it, and you look like the king. Like, I mean, you look at his stats, considering he was never really a true starter. They're impressive.
Oh yeah, he's got his percentage basis on his interceptions is out of this world.
Absolutely, and like filthy work that he's done. He has no right having that much like production for a backup. I mean, I know he's rotated, so he probably. I mean, they never really truly had like the Buccaneers defense doesn't work with a true. True traditional strong safety, free safety. It is more like a rotational hybrid role, buck safety, nickel guy that does that.
Well, now with Winfield's got to be locked in as your free safety because he's all over the field. That's where he needs to be.
Winfield's my favorite. Winfield's my favorite young player on the team.
I think he's going to develop into our Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu.
His dad was an amazing player, and I loved the fact that when we beat New Orleans, he said that I did that for my dad. I was like,
"Yep."
I
love heritage players. I do. I love heritage players.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it gives you that vibe of shows you how much they want. So I always call myself someone who comes from the Hardy Nickerson tree, because I did spend a good few hours learning from Hardy Nickerson through webinars and things like that. So most of my stuff that I've learned is from Hardy Nickerson and his son, who at the time had just started to like wet his feet in the NFL. And I would love to have seen him with the Bucs. And I think if you go and look up Hardy Nickerson Jr. stats, they ain't bad for a backup.
Right.
He ain't bad. He makes explosive plays. I think his problem was he sucks on special teams.
That's bad when you're trying to break in. You know what I mean?
It's like you're not good enough to make the starts, but you're not good enough to be the special teams guy. And I think that was always his weakness.
Right.
But I think that's the thing is when you become a coach's son, because Hardy coached for a while as well. I mean, he's back coaching. I'm not entirely sure the name of his Californian team that he coaches down in Oakland. Bishop Dowd, I think it is. Yeah, Bishop Dowd. He coaches Bishop Dowd. Sorry?
Bishop Downey?
I'm not sure of the pronunciation. I just read it phonetically. But yeah, it's where he came from. His son came from. He's gone back to be head coach there. He did spend when I spent some time with him, all he did was rave about Levante David. It's like Levante David this, Levante David that, Levante David, Levante David. And that was when he showed me a lot of footage of Levante David playing.
Technically, Levante David technically is one of the greatest football players of all time because his technique is fantastic. If you want
his tackling technique is utterly insane. Like he's so clean as a tackler, so clean. He is. That's a rugby tackle. He tackles like a rugby player, but then he adds the American football element of getting the ball out, which shouldn't happen because
he's constantly every time
he's got that rap. Yeah, he's got that hammer or the punch, and he just comes in like when we coach uppercut. So when you tackle, you tackle like this. Your body comes up and you uncoil into theirs. And I developed my tackling technique into a point where when you're uncoiling, you're punching the ball out and then you grip. So if you don't knock the ball out, you're still making the tackle. And if you do knock the ball out, someone's going to pick it up for you.
Same thing goes with the overhand technique. Because if you're coming over the top,
with the overhand technique is it's a lot harder to secure the tackle because when you're tackling somebody, you got to.
That's when you're coming from behind, though, for that overhand technique. And when you're coming from behind, you're getting that hand right there to whip it down. So that ball comes out.
So you chop in, get the ball. Hang on, see if I get my hand in there, and then you rip back out. So it's chop, rip, and that ball just pops out.
That's why a lot of Levante David's tackles become fumbles because he's pulling that arm down throughout the whole tackle. He's putting his weight down on it.
Mm-hmm. But I think there's a lot more fumbles now because I think the game has got a little bit softer. So people, I think, ball carriers have got to a point where they feel a little bit more secure. And now you've got like cornerbacks knocking balls out. So it's not they get run over when they don't make the tackle, but when they do make the tackle, they usually generally pop a ball out. So it's just one of those,
Yep. I love Levante David's techniques. I don't know.
Levante David's my favorite player.
I don't know if he's going to be big enough splash guy to be considered. I mean, we know his numbers. We know his numbers compare with anybody.
It's heartbreaking what's going to happen to him because we all if you're a Bucs fan worth your salt, you know that he's that Luke Kuechly level, he's Bobby Wagner level, and he's never been in the conversation.
Right.
Not truly to Bucs fans, yes. But not truly, and he has a level of respect and
player respect
of his peers, but he doesn't have. And the biggest problem with Levante, and I didn't realize this until I started getting into Busting the Boys, and Will Compton, who's one of the co-hosts of that, is one of his teammates in Nebraska, and he's like, dude, you have no social media presence. You're nobody on social media. You are a fucking nobody. And he's like, yeah, I know. And he's like, that's why you're not a Pro Bowler. That's why you're not this and you're not that. You don't make your name. And he went, but I play football. That's what I'm here to do.
Right.
And it's sad that somebody who's so dedicated, he's so dedicated that he doesn't he cuts his social media presence during the season. So his Facebook, whatever, he cuts it during the season. And then at the end of the season, he reignites it and carries on.
Well, we've had his agent on a couple of times, and
frankly,
that's cool. Well, if I had spoke my opinion, then it wouldn't be so cool because he probably would never come on again. So I might as well shut up.
Okay. Well, what was the
consensus? Because your agent's supposed to handle your media, right? Your agent's
I
supposed
know,
to be
but
going out here.
I mean, there's media and there's social media. Social media is different. I mean, you could just
No,
pay
no.
someone.
What I'm
You could
saying
pay
is your
someone to
agent is
be.
supposed to be on the phone.
If Levante David wants me to be his social media guy, I'll do it. I'll
Not
pump
social
him so
media.
hard, he will be the man.
Wait a minute. I'm not talking just social media. I'm talking about he's supposed to be your media guy to the
Mm-hmm.
press, to these engagements that are occurring off season and stuff. So get him his face out there. That's he's been sorely lacking in somebody to get him that kind of attention.
Yeah, he's got no attention.
None.
That's sad. I mean, I watched him on the. I don't know if you watch much podcast or something, but he was on the Pivot with the Pivot podcast. I was trying to remember Ryan Clark. I can't remember the other guy, but it's got Fred Taylor from the Jacksonville Jaguars, who used to play Jack.
Yep.
Brilliant running back.
One of my favorite players right there.
Oh man, I met him once, and he's such a nice guy. One of my friends is a huge Jags fan. Bless him. And he just got engaged, and he wrote him a big ass thing on a 8x10 glossy saying, "Congratulations on your engagement. Sorry you couldn't be at the game. Love, Fred Taylor." And I was like, "Damn, Fred, I got him this." And I to my friend, I was God for about a year. I was God. And he was a really nice guy when I met him. And they had him on there, and they're like, "You are a dude. Why don't you get the respect?" And he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I don't know why I don't get the respect." And they're like, "But like, you played in the Super Bowl, and you made what everyone considers to be the best tight end in football look like a nobody." He's like, "Yeah, I know." And I got it popping, and they're like, because I dropped my nuts, and they're like, "Yeah, we know." And he's like, "But you get no respect." He went, "What can I do?" Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any more national than that, than beating Travis Kelce and making it look like nobody. Because a lot of Kansas City fans have argued with me, going, "Oh yeah, but he had 100 yards." Man, 100 yards in the fourth quarter.
You gotta get your guy on NFL Network, ESPN, and those shows like that. Fred Warner's always on there. Bobby Wagner, all those guys. Luke Kuechly's still being on there, being brought in there occasionally, you know. And you never see Levante David. Now, Devin White, I'm sure he has no problem with publicity because Devin White is a very popular player. He's not Levante David yet.
I mean, it didn't help that Levante David started as a will backer in a 4-3, which
that's his favorite position, though. I mean, when they brought in Sean Alexander, when they brought in Alexander, they wanted Quan Alexander. I mean, not Sean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know.
He didn't want that middle linebacker spot, and then he got forced back into it because they couldn't play it. And same with Devin White. Now he's got to train Devin White to play that middle linebacker spot. So
I mean, they're in that position where you have in my team we call it Mike and Jack.
Yeah, Mike
and Jack. So Mike and Jack play right next to each other. Then you have your Sam and Will outside, so you have your overhangs on that. If you play, oh god, they play a 3-4. We play a when we go into that, we have so many different verbiage for it. So our verbiage for it is we go red. If we go red bear, so that means we have 3 linemen and we have 5 linebackers, 2 overhangs, and then 3 true linebackers. So we go Mike, Jack, Mike, Jack, Rover, and then we have a Sam and Will on each side. Corner 3.
Right.
That's when we go. That's when we go to our 3-man package. He plays in something similar to that, but if you go too high, then it's mucky.
Well, the thing is, he's all over the field as the general in the linebacking core. All right. Of course, your splash plays are going to come from Quan Alexander and Devin White, but they're focused on what they have. One thing they have. You saw Devin White fall off last year. He didn't fall off. He started taking more responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody said, "Oh, he's falling off." That's not falling off.
No, I respect what you're saying. I completely agree with you. I think he grew as a player because all they did with him in the second year was blitz him, and now they made him more responsible because they're like, you know what we want to do. If you can get Levante David and Devin White at the same skill set, how dangerous is that?
That's dangerous.
You got guys who can do everything. Because in my opinion, Lavonte David is the most pure linebacker in football.
Absolutely.
He can blitz. Not the greatest blitzer, but he can blitz. And he can... His tackles for a loss stat is insane. You ever looked it up? He's like one of the best.
Yeah, it's better than Ray Lewis's.
It's better. I'm being nice. There are guys who play on the line who have worse stats. And I'm not talking scrubs.
I wasn't bullshit. His tackles for loss are better than Ray Lewis's were. Like if you match Ray Lewis's stats up to Lavonte David's, they're pretty equal, except when it comes to interceptions and shit. That's the difference.
I think that's the only thing about Lavonte David is his weaknesses is probably his coverage. And I'm not saying he's a bad coverage guy. I'm just saying that's probably his only weakness.
That's actually one of his strong parts too, though, because he's there to cover the tight end. He's not good on wide receivers. He's not good against the slot. He's there to cover the tight ends, and he does it magnificently.
No, I'm talking from production point, not from he can't do the job.
Oh yeah.
From a production
what
point,
they ask him to do is what they ask him to do.
This is why stats are just bullshit.
Absolutely. I pound that into people's heads, and they still they're looking for the splash plays. There's splash plays.
There's only a few positions in football that you can turn around and say stats is everything. And if you're a lineman, you're a D lineman, stats are everything because you're only doing a certain thing.
Not necessarily. Not if you're a defensive tackle and you're taking up the production. You're taking
I get you. Because if you're a nose tackle, you're probably not going to get many sacks. That's just standard. Like it's just going to happen because you're setting up other people. That's what the free tech's for. The free tech.
You're there to run the play outside and to stop the run in the middle. That's what you're there for.
Yeah, and the thing is, coaches know this, and disciples of the game. See what I did there? Disciples of the game know this, but the layman person went, "Oh, he's not very good." And I'm like, no. Like if you put Vita Vea into a engine of how good of if you put him for his position, which is nose tackle, because that's technically what he is. You put him in his position as nose tackle. I would say he's top 3, if not number 1.
I'd put him at number 1. I haven't seen.
I would, but I don't watch enough foot. And the only reason I wouldn't put him at number 1 is because I don't watch enough football, and that wouldn't be fair of me to turn around and just say, "Oh, I only watch Bucs football. He's number 1." So I don't want to be that person, but I believe that he's in that echelon. And I'm a
Bucs fan, but I was an NFL fan way before I was a Bucs fan because we didn't even have.
I just don't watch enough football to like.
Oh yeah, it's kind of hard for you to watch a lot of football. Isn't
it? To be honest, with it's just time. To be honest, man, like because obviously you got the Sunday games, you got like Sunday games stop
Saturday. Well, sometimes Saturday.
I like Saturday. I love Saturday because it just reminds me of being a kid. Like the sports are on Saturdays in this country. Like sports are big on Saturdays. It's not a Sunday thing. So for us in this country, we get. So your 1 p.m. slate is our 6 p.m. slate.
Right.
The next one, I think it's like you got 8 and then 9 o'clock. Between 8 and 9 o'clock are your mid games, and then your Sunday night football, your Monday night football, Thursday night football. That's like 1:30 in the morning.
Jesus Christ!
Mm-hmm.
I probably would hate my life there.
Yeah, but you gotta remember the Bucs didn't used to play many of those.
Right, that's true. But I didn't just like I said, I didn't just watch.
But we see it like me personally, I'm a night shift worker, so I'm always up at that time anyway. This is why I'm up now, and like it's 3 p.m. It's 3 a.m. over here, so
right.
I'm not remotely bothered. But like I know there are other like friends of mine who are fans that support the Buccaneers who are like, yeah, I'm going to bed now. And it's like halftime or first quarter, and they're like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to bed.
I can't turn the TV off and walk away from it when I'm watching a game, man.
I've only done it once, and I'm very embarrassed to say this. It's during our Super Bowl season, and it was when we were playing the second game against the Saints. And I think it was Monday Night Football. And I was sat there, and I'm like, if they don't score when we get the ball back, I'm going to bed. I can't do this. I'm so tired. Like my eyes were drooping. I was like, I can't do this. I've never turned a Bucs game off.
Trevor Siemian beat us, so it's the Saints just own our number.
No. It's the Super Bowl season.
Oh, okay. Well, they still.
It was the one where they really whacked.
Yeah.
It was the one where they whacked us. They really whacked us, and we got like 3 points.
Yeah.
Oh, it was hot. I think I said to myself, if we do not score a touchdown in the first drive, because we had the ball back on the first drive, the first drive of the third quarter, I was like, I'm done. I gotta go to bed. Like, I just can't watch this.
I kind of think that's kind of what disgusted Brady and Gronk with the Bucs, man, is not being able to get over the damn Saints, man.
Mm-hmm. We need to figure that shit out.
We've had
moments against
Trevor Siemian comes in as quarterback.
Remember the Fitzpatrick game? Oh man, I had my buddy, one of my best friends is a Bucs fan. I didn't convert him. Me and him became friends, and I love it. I need to get him on the show one day. Really need to get my boy John on the show. He's a good lad, absolute monster of a dude. And we always meet up. We have like family cookouts and stuff like that, and our kids are friends and stuff.
All right, hold on, Teresa. Go ahead and get you some rest, man. Anytime you need some help here, I'll help you out. I don't mind. Thank you,
Teresa, you rest up, because all we want you to do is be ready when you come back, because you got to bring it. You're always ready to bring it. She always does, bless her. But he's a good dude, and I remember meeting him. I met him for the first time. He's like a friend of my. He's a friend of my wife's. My wife is friends with his wife. God, that sounds really hard to get out. And I met him for the first time, and he's like, "Oh, what are you into?" And I'm like, "Oh, yes." And I knew his brother, because me and his brother play rugby together. His brother's an ass. Sorry, Rob, if you're listening. His brother's an ass, and then he's like, "Yeah, my brother's a fucking dick." And I was like, "All right, cool." And we just got chatting. And he's like, "Oh, what are you into?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm into the Buccaneer, American football, NFL." And then he's like, "Okay, yeah." And he started asking me questions, and we started watching some games. I said, "Have you picked a team yet?" Because I wasn't going to force the Bucs on him. Like, I don't want to inflict that misery on him, because we're still with James Winston. So I was like, let him pick his team, let him do what he's got to do. So I think I'm going to be a Bucs fan. Yeah. So that was cool, awesome. Like, I got a buddy. So he picks the Bucs. I think it was the season of when it all went down about him doing what he did with some Uber driver or some shit. And I remember at the end of the season, I just turned around to him and said, "I'm so sorry. I made you pick that team." And he was like, "Nah, man, our time will come." And I remember when we won the Super Bowl, I rang him. He went, "You told me, man, our time would come." And I was like, "Yeah, I was fucking drunk."
But that's what I told my nephew when he picked out when he was wanting to get into the NFL. I said, well, he wanted to know what team to follow. I said, I'm not going to tell you who to follow. What you should do, though, is pick out a team that's at the bottom who you feel that might be edging their way closer to the top. And
because it'll be sweet.
You'll get the full spectrum of being a fan that way. You know what I mean?
I turned around to my friend, who's a big one of my players is a big Bengals fan, and he was in shell shocked at what happened last season. Yeah,
I love that, man.
Yeah, so did I.
I'm a Burrow fan. I am a Joe Burrow fan. I really like the kid, man, a lot.
And I know the ridicule they've got, and the rep that his team's got, and he's there with his Bengals hoodie on before he puts his pads on. He was one of our best players. The only reason he isn't our best player right now is because he's just joined the police force, and if he gets injured playing for us, they may cut him. So so he made a decision professionally that he would stop being a gardener, because that was his profession before, and he wanted to be a policeman, and he decided to sacrifice playing football for it, and he's a freaking awesome free safety.
So do you guys don't have anything over there like the cops versus the criminals?
No.
We have the cops versus criminals games.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a football. It's football games. Cops get
no. That would be cool though. That would be awesome. I just don't think I think it's more army based in this country. Yeah. Because you've got more chances of Americans being involved. Because of the armed forces, like unity and stuff. So but yeah, he's a good dude. Harry Compton, straight, love that boy. He was a good dude for us, and unfortunately he had to stop playing because his he got a career, and
Yeah,
It's
they
what
do
it
those games over here to try to get community involved with the police and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So there's not always a divide between the cops and the
no,
regular
probably
people.
not. I mean, and that's what you don't want. You want community things. I mean, I don't know, because I'm not from the US. I can't comment really. I
Those
don't.
games are always fun, though, man. They were always fun. When I was playing them just after high school, man.
We
And
used to.
they were a
What we
blast.
have over here in rugby, it's big in rugby. They did a similar kind of thing where they have more like your rugby team goes against the fire service or the police service or the ambulance service, that kind of thing. Those kind of games happen quite often.
Well, we're getting close to it, so we're hitting that 2 hour mark, man. So I'm about ready to go.
If you want to call it, bro, I'm ready to go.
All right, man. Been nice being in here. I'll do it
It's
again next week.
it's nice to
If
have
you
a good
need
chat
me
with
here,
you.
I'll be here.
What happened to your Facebook? Because it just said message unavailable.
Oh, man.
You've been banned.
Facebook, I got deleted from Facebook. Facebook just took me off. They said, "To hell with you. You're out of here."
I thought, I was like, is he in Facebook jail?
No, it's not even jail. They just said no. I tried to make another profile, and we know who you are. You logged in from the same device with this email address and blah blah blah. And all right, you got me. Screw y'all. I can be found on Twitter though, so I'll be around on Twitter.
All right. I mean, we'll still talk, and we'll sort something out, and I'll look forward to being on your show too. So I appreciate you coming on, man, and appreciate you helping me out, and let me have this is the first time I suppose technically primary hosted and did the introduction, so that was kind of fun.
Did a great job too, by the way. Very
cheers,
good job.
man. Much appreciated. Yeah, thank you for coming on and helping me out. I really appreciate it. I got a chance to vibe off you too, so that was cool.
All right, later, guys. Later, everybody. Give Slick a good round of applause. Say thanks or whatever in the chat.
Thank you for joining the show, guys. Much appreciated. And like, subscribe, unsubscribe, relike, everything. Do it. Share it. Share it to your mama. Share it to your grandmother. Share it to your hamster. It does not matter. I do realize I've got flowers over my shoulder. I do look a bit of a posy here. But thanks a lot, guys. Much appreciated. And I will see you soon. Teresa, my thoughts are with you. Much love to you. Just concentrate on getting better. We will be better when you come back. When you come back, we'll be flying. See you, darling.